Improve your handwriting. It's one of the most common instructions given to the children and also one of the least understood. We use these words every day at home and in classrooms. They sound helpful and corrective, but very few of us stop to ask, what happens inside a child when this sentence becomes routine and repetitive? Hello, I am Maneesha Rajpal and you are listening to Inner Architecture. Today, I want to talk about the hidden emotional cost of a sentence we rarely question. Improve your handwriting. Let me take you somewhere familiar. It's evening, the school bag is open, the notebook is on the table, and as you lean in to look at the page, you say calmly, write neatly, no anger, no shouting, just expectation. And something changes. The child's shoulders tighten and his fingers grip that pencil harder. And the result? The writing slows down even more. And suddenly, homework doesn't feel like homework anymore. It feels like pressure to perform. Here's what we almost never notice. When we say improve your handwriting, we are asking for an outcome. But we are not offering a process. We don't explain what exactly to change, how to change it, or why it feels so difficult. So the responsibility quietly shifts to the child. The child begins to believe, if my handwriting is bad, it must be my fault. Now think about school. A teacher looks at the notebook and says, I can't read this. Is this how you write? And sometimes, very casually, Divya, why aren't you writing properly? These words are not spoken with cruelty. They are spoken out of habit. But to a child, they don't sound casual. They sound final. And when similar words are repeated at home, why can't you focus? You are not trying. The message becomes the child's self-image. The problem is not the writing. The child understands as the problem is me. At this point, something very unfair happens. The child is placed inside a tight bracket of responsibility. Write neatly, write fast, write consistently, finish on time, all at once. But no one is actually teaching the child how writing develops. So effort increases, but clarity doesn't. And effort without clarity is exhausting. Parents try everything. More cursive writing books, more practice books, better schools, and yet the handwriting remains illegible. And slowly that stress doesn't stay limited to the classroom anymore. It starts entering the home. It shows up in incomplete notebooks, the teacher's remarks in red ink that begin to sound repetitive. And then what happens? Then parents start calling other parents. What work was done today? Did your child complete this? Some parents step in and start writing the notebooks themselves just to keep things moving, while others sit longer in the evenings marking the child finish, making the child finish what couldn't be done in school. And before anyone even realizes it, evenings begin to feel heavy. Not because the homework is too much, but because writing takes too much effort. Let me share an image with you. Teaching a child handwriting is like teaching them to hold a butterfly. If you grip too tight, you crush it. If you hold too loose, it flies away. The child isn't learning obedience, the child is learning pressure. Some days the grip is right, some days it isn't. And when the butterfly trembles, we don't shout at the hands. we teach gentleness. But often with handwriting, we keep correcting the grip without understanding the hands, and the child feels blamed for something still forming. Parents often say, "My child can write well on some days." Some would say, "If you can do it sometimes, why not every day?" But inconsistency is not defiance, it is instability. The skill has yet not settled. The control over the pencil fluctuates, and the little hands are still learning. And yet, the child feels accused. Not only this, the child is labeled as, "My child writes very slowly." Slow writing doesn't just affect notebooks. It starts affecting exams, then the self-confidence, and then the self-image. A child who writes slowly is always catching up, is always feeling left behind, is always feeling the need to rush. And slowly, writing begins to feel unsafe. So the child avoids it. By the age of 7, a child already knows who finishes first in the class, who gets praised in the class, who is considered good. When notebooks return incomplete day after day, something shifts inside. The child stops opening the notebook on their own. They stop enjoying books. They stop feeling curious. Not because they don't want to learn, but because learning no longer feels safe. Children don't have the words to say, "I feel inadequate." So they stay quiet and they start believing, "I am slow, I am not good enough, others are better." And this belief doesn't stay in handwriting. It spreads into confidence, into their effort, into the courage to try. The child gives up earlier than others, takes fewer risks. Not because ability is missing, but because the trust in effort is gone. So when we say improve your handwriting, what we often don't see is what it quietly costs. It's not about neatness, it's not about marks. It's about how a child sees themselves, how safe they feel while learning, how much they believe in their effort. This is the hidden emotional cost. If this episode stayed with you, it's because somewhere inside you recognized that moment. The moment just before the words were spoken, before correction, before advice. In the next episode, we'll explore why correction, even when it's meant to help, can quietly damage confidence when understanding comes later. Until then, notice what comes before your words are said.